Good morning, Marysville. I'm Celine Ferreira,
And I'm Rachel Stalka.
and today we are here with Jake Sirianni.
Hello, how's it going?
How was your day or your morning so far?
It's pretty good. Drove over here. Haven't made the drive in a little while. I used to be a student here, so
Right.
yeah, haven't made it in 2 years. I'm a sophomore over at WSU now.
Nice. So, like you said, you were a previous student here. So, what was ISC like for you?
Yeah, so I started the ISC in 2010, and I graduated in June of 2014. The ISC, the International School of Communications, it was just an overall great experience, from the culture of the school to the students and staff, just the overall, the general feel of the school was very welcoming and nurturing, but it was also a place where it encouraged academic excellence and just never giving up. That's one of the biggest mottos in the ISC, NGU and NGU. Also a place just to kind of take chances spectacularly and do your best and try new things.
Right. So, what were some of your favorite memories that you made here?
Yeah, I was a house head, so I was heavily involved in the house system. Haven't thought of this in a little while. So that was during my junior year. So I had the pleasure of working with prefects and I haven't said the word prefect in a long time either. Just various staff members and just kind of working on the hands-on activities like house competitions and advisories. And so I would say the house system just in general was a great opportunity and experience for me during my junior year. I was also involved in TV3. I was the station manager my senior year. I got to plan a trip to Hollywood. Shout out to Mr. Christopher. Yeah, it was just a great time. We got to see Conan and a lot of other great things in good old California.
Yeah, nice. That's what I really like about ISC, like the whole house system, just really different from all the other schools. So I like that.
And if we were to, or if you guys were to lose that, what would happen to the school, do you think?
That'd be weird.
That's something to ponder.
What were some of your favorite classes?
Yeah, so currently I'm a broadcast communication student at WSU, so TV3 was big for me. It really helped me kind of get settled into my passions in life, which are just telling stories and how to effectively communicate while entertaining. I like to kind of do that aspect of it. So video classes at the ISC, they were a huge plus. I wouldn't say there were any bad classes at the ISC that I took, just because of the culture of the school. And that might sound like a cop-out just because I don't want to disown any teachers. But you know, it was all a great experience. And so everything from video to Spanish, I took a semester of Latin. Hello.
How'd that go?
Yeah, it was great. First, you know, anyway. Yeah, and then just all the other classes. Kreger was great. And then we jumped to Haynack. He kind of came later in my high school career, but just everyone, the left stads, shout outs to them, and yeah.
Nice.
Go ahead. So, what classes would you say really helped you prepare for college?
Yeah, so I'm dealing specifically with communication classes just because I'm a broadcast communications major. So video 1 through 5, they were great foots in the door. That doesn't make sense. They were great starts to what I'm doing currently. So I took video 1 when I was a freshman, and then this was Mr. Christopher's first year teaching. So I don't know if we were the guinea pig generation, but he put me in video 5 right after video 1. He kind of jumped me up with a few others, Louis Prez and Michaela Harvey. But for some reason, he just either saw something in us or wanted to make a cool move. Hey, thanks. So it was just a really cool experience to see a class a freshman normally wouldn't see, so interacting with those seniors and juniors who might have had a little bit more experience. But I became a producer when I was a freshman, and then yeah, so video 1 through 5. I was also the producer of fresh meat, good old fresh meat, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the first ISC film. It was definitely a transitional, it was like the first one, so you had to start somewhere. It was a good starting ground. And then morning announcements. Do you guys call them morning announcements?
We actually don't have morning
Oh,
announcements
wow.
anymore.
Rest in peace. There you go. So we did that as well. I tried to change the name to Get Your Update, but it didn't work, just as a homage to Saturday Night Live. But, and then I never took video too just because of the jump. But yeah, so video classes. And I kind of went in a roundabout way, but video classes.
Yeah, I was kind of like that too. Like, I went into video 1 and intro to video, and I didn't do anything else. I just jumped kind of right into this class.
There you go.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. What would you say the transition is like from like high school to college?
Yeah, with the implied responsibility, I would say that's probably the largest bit of it, because you don't have kind of a fallback. In high school, you can either say, no, I'm not going to do this assignment, and it's not the end of the world, but in kind of higher up, like university, it's not the end of the world still, but it's just something you shouldn't do, and you don't have your parents to fall back on. And so being without those kind of support systems, it's definitely a new thing to kind of wrap your head around. But also it's a lot more freedom. So kind of how you use that freedom is up to you. It's just if you use it for good or bad, that's your decision, and that's one of the biggest pieces. You have a lot of decisions to make. So that's how I would describe the transition.
Right, yeah. So from Marysville all the way to, where is this?
Pullman, Washington.
Pullman, Washington.
Good old middle of nowhere.
Yeah. From moving from here all the way over there, like, was it weird or?
Maybe culture shock. I don't know. They're not too different. It's a smaller town. It's pretty much all college students. So yeah, it's just a small town with a lot of people your age, and where Marysville, you have kind of a variety of all ages. And so just kind of adjusting to seeing a lot more younger people, I would say that's the biggest change.
Yeah. Why Wazoo? Like, of all the universities, why did you choose to go there?
Yeah, I chose to go in-state. A lot of the cost was a factor in that. But then also I didn't see, like maybe I regret it, not going to WSU, just like not looking at out-of-state universities. So maybe looking back, I would have had more of a open mind for considering out-of-state options.
Right.
But a lot of the choice was in-state. And then WSU has the best communication program in the state, by far, the Edward R. Murrow College of Communication. That was one of the factors in that as well. So just great academics. And then they also have Cable 8 Productions, which is a great student broadcast organization on campus, and that was also another determining factor.
Okay, that's actually really cool.
Right.
All right, we're going to go to a little segment break right now, so we'll be back. That's really cool.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I got it. Hey, beautiful. I got a summer internship, so if we run out of questions,
What are they saying? They're saying?
Pretty sure Brandon's in the Rachel.
He's in a Rachel?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
That's not true. Don't.
We need to create our own language. Yeah, for sure.
This is 7 Limas?
Oh. Fenoi, Shinoi, Lenoi, Kanoi.
About to sit on this bench. These guys think they can make all these noises with their own language and stuff. Joke's on them, because we made that language.
All right, welcome back. We are here with Jake Sirianni, and once again, I'm Celine.
And I'm Rachel.
All right. So we were talking about Wazoo
Yeah.
and all the courses that you are taking. Let's see here. Is there any other like I know that you're really like into the whole video thing and stuff. If that wasn't an option, what do you think you would have like tried and pursued for?
Good question. I remember asking. I remember it was my sophomore year here, and I was kind of scribbling or something, and then Mr. Christopher asked, "What are you going to do in the future?" And I kind of had the default the answer of accounting for some reason.
Oh.
I thought that was like a safe thing, but then I realized I'm not the best at math, and I was like, "Oh no, just accounting." And then I think this. Don't get too cocky over this, Mr. Christopher. But I think this was kind of like the determining factor in it. He was like, "What are you going to do?" And I was like, "Accounting." And he was like, "Why?" And I was like, "I don't know." And so that was it's kind of lame, but that's kind of when I decided on that. So I don't really have a backup plan. So that's kind of the beautiful thing about this. If it doesn't work, I'm going to be dead. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
So I would say it's my passion, and yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have a backup plan, and that's the beautiful thing about it, because if I fail, that will just be more motivation to go get it more.
Yeah. That's kind of me. Like, I still don't know what I want to do, but I do know that I really like this whole video thing, but I'm not sure if I'd want to do anything with it. But yeah, that's actually really cool. So, what kind of things are you doing right now? Like, currently, any video projects or any?
Yeah, so I got done with my sophomore year at WSU, and I kind of had my 3 lives. I had my student life, so homework and just kind of like all that good academic stuff. And then I was also in Cable 8 Productions, which is a student broadcast organization. They give the opportunity to students to have their own show, and it's totally creative, up to them. So there's a director and producer. They pitch a show to the executive board of the organization, and then if they get the show, it's up to them to hire 2 assistants, and this is all for credit, so it's not paid, unfortunately. But the assistants help in the hiring process of the crew and cast, and so it's a 6-episode season. So that's what I've been doing for the last 2 years. My first semester in Washington State University, I started out as an assistant and then kind of worked my way up. So I worked as an assistant on a show kind of like Tosh.0, but it was a lot worse. You know,
Yeah.
college humor. But and then I became director of the show. Still not the best, but it kind of improved. And then this year in the fall, I was director of a satirical talk show. And then in the spring, we kind of did the same thing, but in a little different of a format. And then I was elected president and general manager of the organization for my junior year. So that is a paid position, which is beautiful, but it's also a great opportunity to make changes and kind of continue the excellence of the organization. It's the 2nd largest organization at WSU, so that's kind of a big commitment, and I'm really excited for it. And then also I was an RA, so not the dorm cop, but just kind of someone to, like, if there are rules being broken, that, but then also build community. So kind of like helping freshmen in their first year. It's kind of like in the mentorship. Do you guys still have the mentorship program? It's okay. Rest in peace. And so it's kind of like one big mentor for 30 to 50 underclassmen.
Oh, wow.
And then also if someone's smoking pot in the middle of the hall, you have to be like, hey, don't do that. And a little bit more legal than
Does
that.
that happen?
Well, I've got some stories if you want to.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
that later.
That's something really
Hey,
interesting.
beautiful. So on the first night, there was an incident where someone was taking in the marijuana. Cool teens say that, right? Taking in the marijuana. No, and so that was kind of a bad introduction to the year. It was the first night, and we had to call the police. But yeah, it was definitely an interesting experience. And there was some more serious cases where you had to do something a little bit more than the drugs and stuff, and so that kind of got tough, especially with being in Cable 8 as well as a student. But it was a good experience overall, and you got paid, so.
Nice.
You know.
How did you get so involved in like school? Like, did you start off right away like trying to get as involved as possible?
Yeah, that's kind of the goal, right?
Yeah.
You want to seek out those opportunities so you just have the experience under your belt, and also you can kind of grow as a person. I went to WSU knowing that I wanted to do communication, so I seeked out Cable 8, and then in February of my freshman year, I knew I wanted to be an RA, so I went to a few kind of info meetings about that, and then I just kind of did it. Are you asking how I kind of came across the opportunities?
Yeah.
Or, just promotions. That's why a big thing in life is kind of communicating what's going on, and a big department in Cable 8 is promotion. So shout outs to them. I've been saying shout outs a lot, and I don't think I like it. Anyway, but yeah, just kind of getting the word out. That's how I found out about it.
Nice. All right. Would you say that you did take all the video courses here?
Except for video too, just because I jumped from.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah.
So would you say that these video classes helped you prepare for what you're?
Oh, definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, the video courses here, they were essential, I would say. Just because I came into college kind of with that experience under my belt. You guys still work in iMovie, correct?
Yes.
Sweet. So kind of getting that foundation and then kind of working up. I went to Final Cut and then later on to Premiere, and then that kind of built on itself. And then in Cable 8 we edit on something called Avid Media Composer, which is one of the most popular editing programs in the industry. A lot of the Oscar Award, I think it was 95% of the Oscar Award winning films were cut on Avid Media Composer.
Oh, wow.
And so that's what we use on that level. So TV3, or the video program here, it kind of built, it was a stepping stone for that. So it was a really great opportunity.
If I remember correctly, when you were here at the ISC, didn't you have like a YouTube show where you used to make little segments? Or
Yeah, Jake in the Hall.
Yeah.
That's a throwback. Yeah, during during my senior year, I think it was second semester, it was me and the foreign exchange student Lamia, and it was basically just a ripoff of Billy on the Street. There's a True TV program called Billy on the Street where Billy Eichner, he's a comedian, very loud. He just pulls people on the side of the street with celebrities, and he just kind of does stupid interviews. But yeah, I had 8 episodes of Jake in the Hall, and it was definitely a fun experience. It was just kind of something silly and stupid. And thanks, Mr. Christopher, for letting me do it. It wasn't necessarily educational, but you let me do it, so thank you. And yeah, those were fun.
Yeah. Did you just like, were you just chilling and then you were like, I think I want to make these?
Well, again, with the patience and kindness of Andrew Christopher, definitely. Yeah, I saw it and I was like, hey, I want to do that. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, right?
Yeah. So you were a very, very well-known student leader here at ISC, and you still have people talking about you. What would you say your legacy was when you left here?
In the ISC, I just tried to like be the nicest person I could be, and I tried to do my best, and tried to make good quality content in TV3 at least, but then also form good connections with people and learn people's names, because that's kind of I heard one time that that's the best thing someone can hear, like when first starting off, is their name. It's kind of like crack to them, I guess. Like if you say, hey, buddy, versus hey, Nick. See, it was hey, buddy versus hey, Nick. But, never mind. But, so just kind of like learning names, making connections. So legacy-wise, I thought I kind of brought on the legacy from the past generation. So that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to carry the legacy. And if it worked, cool. If not, there were others to help in that process. But hopefully it worked. But
I think it did. Yeah. All right, so we'll be back again. We're going to go back to another segment, so we'll be back. don't get to go to bed. What? They're canceled? Alright, welcome back. I'm Celine.
I'm Rachel.
And we're here with Jake Sirianni.
Yo.
So, how would you say you have changed, like, when you were in high school, from freshman to senior year, how would you say you changed in a way?
Good question. When I was a freshman, I was kind of larger.
Okay.
Childhood obesity, I would say. No, so physically, I'm not looking as bad, I would say. No, good question how I changed. I would say my optimism level has gone up. When I was a freshman, I was like on the outside, I was like, hey, how's it going? Just with a lot more facial fat.
Yeah.
And then, this is getting weird. But now I would say just the optimism level is increased, and I'm a pretty optimistic guy. I don't think that was necessarily true my freshman year.
Okay. Would you say there's any teachers that helped you become who you are today, like have really influenced you?
Yeah, in the ISC, I think a good variety of teachers have done that. Everyone from Mr. Christopher to Left Stads, both of them, of course. Left Stye, I like to plural it up.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. And then Chapin, he was great. Senora Adams. I would say everyone. Do you want me to run through the list of the ISC staff? Robert Sherry, when he was here. Did you guys ever experience Mr. Sherry?
I didn't.
Hey, he's great. They used to have his face up.
They still do.
They still do.
They still have his face up
That's
there.
fantastic. Can we bring his face out here?
Yeah.
I dressed up for Halloween as Mr. Sherry one time, and that was an interesting experience. All the teachers were taking pictures. Oh, they're actually bringing out the Sherry picture. I would love to have that. I would love to do the rest of the interview with Robert Sherry. Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let's just put this right here.
All right. Oh, it's not gonna stay up.
In loving memory. We can just throw it. There we go. But all the teachers at ISC made a definite impact on the overall experience I had here. And Miss Clancy, Mr. Haynack, I did one of the stupid Jake in the Hall bits with Mr. Haynack. It was Haynack or Haynope. It was like an adaptation on True or False. That was weird. But yeah, it was a great time.
You actually did a really good job of being Mr. Sherry.
Hey, thank you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's a lot of eyebrow work. If you ever want a Sherry impression tutorial.
I don't know him, but like you're just spot on.
He's a fun guy. Likes to have a lot of fun.
Oh. Let's see here. Your senior year of high school.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that.
Let's do it.
All right. So, was it stressful?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Of course.
Senior year, you're making a lot of decisions. It's the SAT, some AP tests, college next year. Looking back, it was definitely stressful.
Yeah.
And I was about to say I shouldn't have been so stressed out, but I think it was an appropriate amount of stress. It's just kind of how you manage that and how you balance it.
Yeah. So, were you like at what point in the year did you realize like, oh, it's like I'm done, or kind of like
probably graduation. No, yeah, I was doing stuff up until graduation, just with TV3 and some of the house program or house system. But probably like, oh, it's over. It's probably like February, March.
Oh wow.
But that was like I was still doing stuff, so you know.
Yeah. Wow, that's kind of scary because I'm gonna be a senior next year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and like I'm already like scared for it, kind of. So. Yeah. Okay, we're actually gonna go to another segment.
Hey, another one. Beautiful.
Yeah. All right. So we'll be back.
Whoa! I didn't see you guys there. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to study the right way. Step 1, find a comfortable location. Go. Step 2, clear. Step 3, review the material. Step 4, take notes.
So I actually kind of want to ask you. You were talking about an internship.
Yeah.
What's that about?
What's that about?
Yeah.
So in the summer, I got offered a position down in Burbank, California. Yeah,
Wow.
beautiful California,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
It's with a company that does a lot of spots and trailers for movies and TV shows. So I'll be working as a production intern down in Burbank. It's right across the street from like Disney Studios,
Oh my God, that's
and
so
then
awesome.
about 5 minutes away from Warner Brothers. Some of the a big part of the internship is taking the final product from the companies and then driving it to like Warner Brothers and then Disney. It's not like the most glamorous internship, but it's definitely like a foot in the door,
Yeah.
and you have to start somewhere.
Exactly.
And so I'm super excited for it. I'm leaving tomorrow night. We're driving down there, or I'm driving down. We're driving down there. I'm driving with my mom, and then she's flying back. A little road trip, and so yeah, it'll just be a cool time.
Wow, tomorrow.
Leaving tomorrow, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, right?
So I called you just in time.
Perfect.
You're here. How long are you doing that?
11 weeks. So
11
I'm there until July 29th, and then I have to be back at WSU on the 2nd for my second year of being an RA. So it's a pretty quick turnaround, but I'll be done on the Friday, and then I have to be back in Pullman on the Tuesday.
Okay.
It'll be a fun time though.
Let's see. How did you find out about that? Like the internship, like did you get it offered to you or did you kind of like seek it out?
Nah, definitely for internships you have to work for them.
Oh, okay.
Unless you're like high up and you know
Hey.
people, but I'm not high up. Hopefully not yet. But so as a sophomore in college, people aren't necessarily looking for sophomores because they're not super experienced, or at least that's the kind of broad conception of it. So when I applied to a lot of places, they're like, oh, you're a sophomore. And then they saw kind of like what I've done, my experience on my resume, and they were like, oh, this is cool, but it's still kind of shifty. And then I gave them my time frame, and they're like, oh, no, because I have to be back on in August 2nd. And so they were still kind of iffy on that. I had 4 rounds of interviews at MTV in New York. And so originally that was kind of like the hopeful plan. I went through 4 rounds for 3 different positions. I got a no on one position, which I love no's. I would rather have a million no's than like in limbos, just because you have like a solid answer and you can go on to the next thing. But I was up for a few positions in New York, and I got a no on one, and then I'm technically still in limbo on 2 others. And so when I got offered this position, I was like, just New York's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And it would have been really cool just because it's MTV and then New York, and then it's also in post-production, which I'm really interested in. So they cut on Avid, and that's kind of what I'm used to.
Yeah.
But in California, it's going to be great. And it's also post-production oriented. And then, yeah, it's California, right?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I love Cali. All right, so what would you say the most exciting thing you have done with all your video productions? So.
Good question. I really liked, it's not the hugest thing, but I liked doing Risk Spectacularly, the ISC story when I was a senior. It was kind of cool to do kind of a 40-ish minute, well, 30-ish minute. I had a lot of credits. It was a documentary on the culture of the school, and I think it was well received. It was kind of just documenting the current culture and how it's kind of different in the past and how it's going to be in the future. But it was really cool connecting with staff members and then past students, current students, and just kind of seeing what they thought of the ISC, what the International School of Communications thought or meant to them. And yeah, it was just really nice being able to do that.
All right, so it looks like we have actually run out of time, but is there any advice that you have for any of the high school students or anyone in general?
Yeah, the ISC is a great opportunity. Keep up the positivity, creativity, and then optimism while you're here. Just, I would say those three things got me through the whole experience in general: positivity, optimism, and creativity. And if you have that, you're golden.
All right,
Yeah.
awesome. All right, thank you for being here.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. All right, so this has been Jake Sirianni.
It has.
I'm Sleeper.
And I'm Rachel Salka.
And thanks for watching.